What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Believe it or not, I've actually owned my Audi S3 for a little over a year now, and I've driven it more than 10,000 miles, which is kind of crazy to think because this car isn't even my daily driver. So in today's video, we're going to be going over my thoughts on the S3 after a year of ownership, what I love about the car, and I'm also going to be going over if I regret this purchase from a year ago. All right, so I'm using a different camera view, a little bit less of my face and more of the interior of the car. I just think that looks a little bit better. But we're going to be talking about, like I said, the S3. I've had it more than a year now, just a little over a year, and there's many different reasons why I really do love this car even after a year, and I'm not bored of this car whatsoever. So let me just give a little backstory and backtrack. A little over a year ago when I was car shopping, I'm going to be straight up and honest, my budget for a car was somewhere around 30, maybe like up to 35 grand, somewhere around that area. And this was before the car market blew up. Just remember that, guys. Cars right now in today's day, a year later, are costing a lot more than cars did a year ago when I bought this, which is why I was able to find such a good deal. So in my budget and my price range, there was a couple of cars that I was looking at. Obviously, the S3 was one of them. I was also looking at the Volkswagen Golf R, which, if you guys didn't know, is the exact same car as the S3, just the Volkswagen version and a hatch. So same engine, same turbo, same drivetrain, everything between the Golf R and the S3 are pretty much identical. I was also looking at 340i's from BMW. The B58 platform is awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I look back, sometimes I'm like, hey, maybe I should have gone the BMW route. But anyways, I didn't. And another car that I was really interested in but ended up not going with was actually the Focus RS. I know those cars receive a lot of hate for whatever reason, but I really do like the Focus RS. I think aesthetically it looks really nice. They're very quick from the factory. I have a friend that has one that I made a video about like 2 years ago, and that car is really fun. It sounds good. But anyways, all in all, I decided to go with the S3. So I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. A little over a year ago, I paid a little under $30,000 for this car, and it only had 44,000 miles on it, a one-owner car. I picked it up in Connecticut, and it's funny because I was looking for the cars. I made my mind up that this is what I wanted, and I was looking in my area. And for some reason in Jersey, where I was looking, I would find cars around the same mileage, but they were like 32, 33,000, which I was okay. Like I said before in the video, I would have spent up to 35 grand if the car fit what I wanted. But I found this one in Connecticut literally a day after it was posted. I contacted the dealer that it was at, and that same weekend I went up to go look at the car and I bought it. So it was that simple, it was that quick. They got it on the lot. The original owner traded it in for some kind of Subaru SUV. I don't know the name of it, but he basically bought the highest end Subaru SUV that you can because he had a family, was what they were telling me, if that's true, and ended up selling this to them, and I was able to pick it up for under $30,000. Now, unfortunately today, to find a deal like that is going to be very hard. I've been looking at the market just for fun to see what these cars are around at the moment, and all these S3s, especially the facelift ones from 17 on, you're looking at probably with 40 to 50,000 miles, at least $34,000, $35,000. And if you find a really nice low mileage one, 10 to 20,000 miles, you're probably going to be paying around $40,000, which is pretty unfortunate because last year when I was looking, I did find some examples. It wasn't what I wanted though, but I did find one. It was white, if I'm not mistaken, but it didn't have the tech package, so no digital dash, and it had, I think, 29,000 miles, and the dealer wanted like 34, 35, but I needed the tech package, which is why I ended up going with this one over the other one, and I was able to save some money. Right now, the used car market is booming, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a lot of people are selling their cars on Carvana and Vroom, and they're getting really good deals on their cars. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe 2 months ago, I was toying with the idea of possibly selling this just because how high the market is right now, and maybe getting into another platform or getting into something else a couple of months down the line, hopefully if the market comes down. But I was getting offered from both Carvana and Vroom, like, no joke, 33.5, somewhere in that area. So I would have been able to drive this car for a little more than 10,000 miles, a little more than a year, and make a profit on the car, put that money in my pocket for something else, which could have been anything from like an RS3, a TTRS, an M2, like, you know, go a step above what this platform is. But I ultimately decided that I'm not done with this car. I don't want to overpay for a car right now with the way the market is, and who knows how long this is going to last, even though I know we all hope that the market does come down soon, but we don't know. And honestly, I have a lot more that I want to do with this car. I'm not satisfied with everything that I've done. I need to do more, and that's why I ended up keeping it, and I'm not going to be selling it for the foreseeable future unless, you know, this market keeps going up and I get like a 40 grand offer. Then there's a point where you gotta just say, hey, you know what, let me part this out, sell it, and let me go from there. So let's get into this now. I definitely recommend, if you guys are in the market for one of these MQB cars, Golf R, A3, GTI, GLI, S3, all of these cars for the price you pay are still awesome. They're 400 plus horsepower cars with a stock turbo, with minimal bolt-ons. You know that these all-wheel drive cars will run 11-second quarter miles, even though I have not done an 11-second quarter mile yet. Obviously, they can do it. There are so many different things online where you can see how fast these cars run. Just the other day, somebody with a full bolt-on S3 ran like an 11.4 on a stock turbo with E30, which is absolutely ridiculous to think about. And the fact that my best time was a 12.0 at 1:17, it's kind of crazy that I haven't gotten there yet, but these cars are super capable. One thing people always ask is the reliability when it comes to these cars, and I went over this in a previous video. At least for me, my luck in the past with Volkswagens have been great. I haven't had really any major issues, except for one Mark V GTI that I bought like 5-6 years ago that ended up getting a blown engine like a couple of months after I bought it. It wasn't maintained right, whatever. I got my money back for it, but besides that, I've had multiple Volkswagens. This is my first Audi, but when it comes to the community of Volkswagen and Audi, I've been a part of it for a very long time, about 10 years now, and I can see why people love these cars so much. Reliability has been great. As you guys see, I've done 3 different track days with this car, and all in all, probably somewhere between like 20 and 25 passes altogether. And this car has taken me to the track with no problems. It's left the track with no problems. This car's never overheated. It doesn't leak any oil, no fluids. It doesn't burn any oil. This car, in my experience, has been awesome. I've maintained it for the year that I've had it as great as I possibly can. I know the owner before me maintained the car properly too, because I got a good service record from Audi from this car, that every single service that was done for this S3 was done at the dealer at the right intervals with the best possible fluids, obviously OEM, everything. So this car has been nothing but maintained meticulously throughout its entire life. What I recommend everyone do is definitely make sure that when you buy one of these cars that you have maintenance records. Make sure all these services are up to date, because the thing is, a lot of times people will buy luxury cars or more performance-based cars and they don't do the proper maintenance that they need, and then they complain that the car doesn't perform right, that things keeps breaking. And the problem is that people want to buy more expensive cars, people want to buy performance cars, but they don't want to spend the extra money that these cars need in more expensive fluids, more expensive parts, because they either don't want to or they can't. Which, again, I'm not judging anybody on that, because trust me, a car like this is going to be more expensive maintenance-wise than your Honda Civic, than your Toyota Corolla. So some people go into it saying, I want a newer car, I want a nicer car, I want a performance car, but when it's time to fix something or when it's time to do maintenance on it, when they get the bill, it's kind of eye-opening and shocking how much more expensive something like this is over your basic, like I said, Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. Little backstory, I used to work at AutoZone. This was like 7 years ago now, and I was a manager there, and I can't tell you how many times people would come in asking for, let's say, for example, a battery for like a 335i or a battery for an A4, an S4, and they're looking to spend like $50, $75 on a battery, when the ones, for example, that we had in stock were maybe $150, $200, and we'd get complaints like, oh, I saw online that a battery for this car could cost $70, and that's true. I mean, if you want something cheap, order it online. But if it lasts you, 3 months, then that's obviously your problem. And I'm not saying the AutoZone parts are great. Like, that's not, I'm just saying that when I used to work there, there were so many cases of people coming in with more expensive, higher end cars that they would want to spend the most cheapest amount of money possible to get their car just from point A to point B, which is cool, but you got to understand that the cars are not going to run how they're supposed to, and you're going to have problems. And aside from the batteries, people would do that stuff with like brakes as well. Some brakes that come with sensors would be $100, $120 for some pads, and people were asking for pads that were $10, $20, and just got to understand that that doesn't exist. And if it does exist, it's not going to last long, and it's not going to be good for you, because eventually, if you put those $20 brakes on the car, you're going to be back at the store, or you're going to be ordering online again in 2 or 3 months because your brakes wore out prematurely because you bought crap. One thing that makes this platform of cars so amazing, and I've said it before, and I'm a big advocate of modifying cars because I feel like cars, in my opinion, should be more than just A to B, just because I'm a car guy, obviously, but I think that you should have fun in your car. You should smile every single time you drive your car. You should want to look back at your car whenever you park it in a parking lot going into like the mall or any kind of store, because we work hard to buy cars like this, and we also work hard to modify our cars, and the aftermarket support for this platform is huge and abundant. And the crazy thing is that people don't understand sometimes that these cars are very mildly tuned from the factory. So these cars will make 14 to 16 pounds of boost stock, about 300 horsepower, and then with a tune and a downpipe, you're over 400 horsepower, and you're pushing 27, 28 pounds of boost and making a ton of power, and you're basically faster than most cars on the street now. And people just don't understand the capabilities of these cars. And I'm here today to just tell you, if you're thinking of getting something like this, just go for it, because you're gonna enjoy it, you're gonna love it. Finally, I've had this car for a year. I absolutely love it. I do not regret getting this car. Obviously, with the budget that I set up for myself last year, I could have bought many different things. There are a couple of cars that I wanted, like I said before in the video, but for some reason, I just wanted the S3. There was something about the S3. I kept telling my friends, I kept telling people that I know, that there's just something about these cars that I like. I love the way the headlights look. I love the body lines. I love that these cars have a nice aggressive but luxurious charisma to them. And honestly, again, I do not regret my decision. I love this car. I got a great deal for this car. I have a lot of plans for this car. I have parts coming, unfortunately. I'm still waiting on my intercooler. I'm going to be doing charge pipes. I really want to start getting into doing the turbo, MPI, fuel upgrades, all of that stuff. I really want to see what this car's capable of. I see people all the time on Vortex turbos pushing 550, 560 horsepower, running mid to low 10s in the quarter mile. I cannot wait to do something like that, because this car is going to be like on another level at that point. And the stock engines can hold it, guys. So if you're looking for just an honest opinion, when I came into this, I didn't know if I wanted the DSG. That was one of the things that I was kind of iffy about when I first got the car, going from all manual cars to an automatic dual clutch. And honestly, it's been over a year. I love it. The transmission is awesome. It shifts super fast. It's comfortable. Honestly, I love it. I know what the hype is about the DSG now. I don't mind it one bit. And to be honest, let's say I went Golf R, which if you guys didn't know, the Golf R is offered in a manual as well as the DSG. I feel like it would have been a mistake getting the manual, because those clutches for the manuals don't hold any kind of power, and the DSG in these cars are just phenomenal. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the camera quality was good. I've been using my Canon camera recently for all of my stuff now, and I got a new mount for the camera that's in my car that I'm using, and a little different angle, so hopefully everything is crisp. Hopefully the audio is good. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.